right, our esteemed viewers, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you, depending on where you are watching us from. This is the Confab on esteemed Radio Vision. We are located at Obokuna Avenue in Elisha, Ocean State, Nigeria. Today on the Confab, Nigeria confronts three powerful realities: security at the center of power, workers pushed to the war, and citizens scrambling for survival. At the defense headquarters, investigations have ended and alleged coup plotters. Some, reportedly senior officers, are said to face a military judicial panel. Allegations that officers infiltrated the presidential villa and carried out surveillance raised disturbing questions about how secure the seat of power truly is in Nigeria, and whether Nigeria, our country, has fully escaped the ghost of its cool-reading past. Then in Abuja, the nation's capital is on the edge. Federal Capital Territory workers are on strike. Court are set to rule, and the streets echo with a rare but loud demand: Wike must go. As offices shut down and tensions rise, the big question is whether this is just a fight for workers' rights or a political standoff with serious implications for governance in the FCT. Now, away from these two stories, we have another one. In a country where jobs are very scarce and hope is thinner, over 400,000 Nigerians have applied for just 50,000 police positions. The numbers tell a painful story of unemployment, a painful story of desperation, and a painful story of a security system under pressure to recruit fast without losing credibility. So today we ask the hard questions: is Nigeria's security architecture holding, or is it cracking? Is governance really listening or bulldozing dissent? And are opportunities being created or merely competed for? This is where analysis meets accountability. So let's get into it. Once again, welcome to the Confab. I am Abel, and I have with me
Ohunayo, Ajiboye,
and also
Oluwatoyosi, Solanke.
All right, let's get into it. The very first story here says military investigation ends. DHQ moves to arraign alleged coup plotters. Alleged coup plotters. The defense headquarters on Monday said personnel indicted after investigations into alleged misconduct by some military officers, which uncovered claims of a plot to overthrow the government, will be arraigned before an appropriate military judicial panel. Now, security and military sources familiar with the matter said President Bola Ahmed Tinubu had expressed confidence in the military to try the indicted officers. This comes amid appeals by a pro-democracy group urging the federal government to consider the health and the welfare of officers detained in connection with the matter. You will recall that in October 2025, the DHQ announced the arrest of 16 officers over acts of indiscipline and breaches of service regulations. Now, at the time, the then Director of Defense Information, Brigadier General Tokor Gusau, dismissed the report as an attempt to just create tension and distrust, stating that the matter was just a purely internal disciplinary action. He said an investigative panel had been constituted and that its findings will be made public. Now, security and military sources have also revealed that the alleged coup plotters successfully infiltrated, this is actually where we're going to, that they successfully infiltrated the presidential villa in Abuja, with some of the perpetrators identified as serving military officers. Now, according to the sources, the plotters conducted detailed surveillance. They even assessed security installations and identified vulnerabilities in the villa's defense before the plot was uncovered. Now, this is where we are going to. If senior officers allegedly infiltrated the presidential villa and conducted surveillance, doesn't this point to, a dangerous intelligence and security failure at the very heart of the state?
It does.
Who takes responsibility for this?
The security apparatus apparently should be the ones to take responsibility for
The
that.
security who? Sorry.
The security apparatus of the country. I mean, it's
Okay.
not only the military that's responsible for security. We have the DSS, we have the police, we have the civil defense. We have so many. But what exactly is the state intelligence agency doing? You know, we have an intelligence agency. What were they doing that such things could have happened? Like, how were these people able to infiltrate without him being suspicious? I thought that the villa was supposed to be the most guarded. Is the most guarded residence in the whole nation. I mean, look at the United States. Americans have the right, yes, with certain procedures in place, Americans have the right to visit the White House willy-nilly. But do you know that you cannot even get 10 feet within where Aso Rock is, within even the gates of Aso Rock, you might be shut down. So what are we now talking about? It's supposed to be the most guarded. So how are these people able to infiltrate? Unless this is a false flag operation.
Okay,
I'm not saying it is, but it could be a false flag operation. Where since they already understood, because it is not a secret anymore. There are a lot of military officers are not satisfied with the government's approach to fighting insecurity, and there's a lot of grumbling, there's a lot of dissatisfaction, which might eventually lead to what? To a catastrophic end. And so maybe in anticipation of that, the government decides to do a false flag operation just to what? To make a warning, to sound a warning to any military official thinking of plotting to overthrow the government that, hey, if you're plotting this is what's going to happen to you. I'm just throwing ideas out.
Yes.
Unless it's that. But aside that, if that's not the case and truly these people infiltrated, then oh no, Nigeria is in trouble. We are in serious trouble, because how can Aso Rock be infiltrated? Then where is safe again in the country?
Oh yeah.
Nowhere is safe again in the country. That's what you're telling me. Thank you.
Okay, I know Solanke wants to say something. Solanke, what do you have to say?
Well, thank you, Chidima. If this is true, then it signals a terrible intelligence failure. The leadership of the military security officers and that of the villa security officers should be questioned. Where were they when this was going on? I feel like the presidential villa should be the most secured place in the whole
Nation.
So if the presidential villa is not secure, then nowhere is secure in this nation. That's a cry for insecurity. That means that insecurity has really eaten deep into Nigeria.
So now, I asked a question. Who is to be blamed?
The security officers should be blamed. The government itself should be blamed.
So both the security
They are to be blamed.
personnel and the government should be
Yes,
blamed.
because I believe the government actually recruited them. So there should be kind of scrutiny that they would have gone through, like a kind of process whereby they have to be scrutinized to know if they are actually capable of the post they are actually recruiting them for. So I feel the government that recruited the security officers and the villa personnel, they should be questioning themselves.
But do you think it's all about capability? You mentioned scrutinizing them to ascertain their capability, because I don't see anything that is related with capability here.
Just like what Ohunayo has said, I'm sensing more of like they are trying to a coup d'etat like that. So it's more of they actually knew what they are doing. But if there's actually a good system that is
at
place whereby there's check and balances, you believe me sincerely that even if there are just 20 officers, the 20 officers cannot be rebellious at the same time. We will still have 1 or 2 officers that are still loyal to their responsibility, that are still loyal to their duty. Not all officers will be that we have the same frame of mind that they want to do this. We will still have 1 or 2 that will still be loyal to their responsibility. So I believe it still boils down.
It still boils down to the government.
Yes.
But the government actually placed this military, you understand, to do their work. So for me, I don't really see the government at fault here, because yes, they were, should I say, recruited by the government in power to protect both the government and the citizens. And now it looks like the military betrayed the trust of the government. No, I'm still coming. It looks like the military actually betrayed the government.
If the military betrayed the government, that means the government has not been treating the military in a nice way, because if okay, let's bring it down to contemporary lifestyle here. If an employee or an employer is actually treating an employee well, there will be, even if the employee is someone that is not grateful, there, you believe me to say that all the employee in that person or in that establishment cannot all turn against the employer. There will still be one or two employees that will still say, no, our boss is a good person, don't let us do this. There will still be a loyal servant in their midst that will still what stand for the employer. So me, I believe that the government has not done them well.
Well,
That's why they are actually, though I'm not, it does not justify
exactly. That was what I was about to ask you. Does that actually justify their action?
Actions? But then I see it still boils down to the I'm looking for the right English to use. It doesn't guarantee.
It still boils down to the treatment.
It's still there, yeah, unfair treatment given to the security and villa personnel.
Okay, you've been talking about how they are being treated. I mean, what do you have to say about the way they treat them? What exactly do the government?
If I may come in on that, Chidima, you will recall that so many times on social media, so many soldiers out there on the battlefield will make videos talking about the ill treatment they have been receiving from the military heads. And do you know what? Instead of the military to set up a panel to investigate these allegations, what they do is they try to silence the soldiers that come out and speak against this ill treatment. Now, think of like as Solanke did, I'm going to bring it out to the contemporary. Think of yourself as an employee, you're working and you are being ill treated, and then you are making a complaint to maybe an head higher than your original boss, and then your immediate boss is now trying to suppress and silence you. You've seen other people being silenced, being punished for speaking out. What do you think will happen? There will be a revolution. What happens is rebellion, instant rebellion. And that is what we are seeing at play here. This particular group of soldiers got disgruntled with the way things were going, especially the way the government was handling security in a tone-deaf and insensitive manner. Our soldiers are dying every day, and the best thing the government does is release the same bandits they are fighting. They release them and they say they are repentant, not thinking about how many people they have killed. So the people that they have killed, who is going to rehabilitate those people? Who is going to make those people repentant? Some soldiers have lost family members to the hands of these bandits, and now when they finally now catch these bandits alive, the next thing is they are released. And sometimes on the battlefield, they will catch some bandits and want to execute them, and they will tell them to let them go. We have seen this so many times on social media, on even credible news. Let me not say social media alone, because social media can mix both the truth and the false. But on credible news platforms, we have seen so much interviews, so much evidence of this happening. And then you think that the soldiers will not get disgruntled. That's why I cannot put the blame on security forces. Yes, security forces were lax in what they were doing. For Aso Rock to be, for the villa to be, for the presidential villa to be infiltrated, they were lax. But the problem is coming from the top. The government is acting tone deaf and insensitive on the matters of security, and that is why something like this has happened. The other alternative is what I said before. If this thing is not the way we think it is, then it must be a false flag operation by the government to deter those that are planning such. That's how it is.
And that's another point. But now, the DHQ initially, from this story we saw this morning, the DHQ initially, previously, they described this as a purely internal disciplinary issue. With what we know now, was that just a deliberate attempt to downplay a national security threat?
You know, there's an Igbo adage that says, the truth is like pregnancy. You can cover it for a while, but it will eventually what? It will eventually show. So that is what has happened.
Just like a smoke.
So that's what happened. Just as the DHQ thought that it's going to just be a minor matter, they didn't think it was going to escalate, or that Nigerians will want to know the truth this much and that information will come out. I can bet it that this information that came out did not come out because the government willingly wanted to release it. Some information got leaked, and in order to do damage control before it ended up being too embarrassing for the government, that's why they had to release this information to the public. Because since October, we're just getting the information in January 2025. You will understand that there was a breach in 2026. Thank you. You will understand that there was a breach of information, and the government now, in order to cover up and not be embarrassed, has to now release the information. And this is the problem with Nigeria. Nothing seems to be working how it should.
Okay, now, you know, the military is trying to try these people, trying to try them. Now, can the military genuinely conduct, I'm directing this to Solanke now.
Okay.
Can the military genuinely, you know, conduct a transparent trial of its own officers in a matter that is this sensitive? Or should there be civilian oversight to avoid a cover-up?
Well, I would like to say that I'm not sure they can actually conduct a transparent, what do you call it now?
Trial.
Trial. They can't. Because believe me sincerely, there will be one or two officers that will be actually working. Even the higher ups, I mean the people that they are
At the
senior
top.
ones at the top, they have one. They can't be smoke without fire. There's actually a fire before smoke. So there will be someone actually sponsoring this. It's a security personnel can't just wake up one morning and start planning to infiltrate the surveillance. It has to be one of the people that has this power, that has this authority, that is backing them
That
up.
has the resources.
That has the resources, that is backing them up. So I'm not sure it can actually happen.
Okay, so what's your own thoughts, Ohunayo Ajiboye? She said
Well, can the military genuinely
conduct a transparent trial of its own officers. It's just like trying yourself by yourself. You know, you can't write an exam and mark
Yeah,
yourself.
that's not
So this is
possible.
what is looking like trying to play out here.
Yeah, the question is a good question. Can they actually? Well, they can, but will they?
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
They can.
okay.
They can, but will they? I think will they is a better
So
question.
it's a matter of willingness now,
It's a matter of
not
the political
ability or
will,
capacity.
Not ability or
A lot of
capacity.
people are at stake here.
The military can,
But they
but
won't.
will they is the question.
They won't.
How are you so sure they won't?
Okay, if they should carry it out, do you know that a lot of people will be actually revealed? A lot of secrets will be revealed, and they won't want.
What
that
if
to
they
happen.
are ready for that to happen? I mean, what
How
if
sure are
this
you
is
they
what
are
we
ready?
need? What if this is what we need to actually clean the mess in the military up?
Well, I'm sure they are not ready to actually do that.
But where is the evidence that they won't?
From past incidents, it's very glaring that they won't.
But now the current Minister of Defense has been a man with credible, history in military and defense forces. And, when he was appointed, I liked it because when you look at this man's antecedents, he is a performing and working person. He is different from the past ones who were just there to, I'm sorry to say, allegedly chop money and live life. So why do you feel like with such a credible man in charge, they won't, have a
So
fair
you believe
trial?
they won't
The
compromise
defense
with
minister is
Mustafa
not the only
on set?
person in charge of this. I hope you know that. He's not the only one in question.
But I want
now.
to believe
We
that
have
because
other
he is the
commissions.
minister, I want to believe that because he is the minister of defense, he is going to have more of a say. He's
He
going
has
to
the
have
power
more power
to-
and oversight in this
If
kind
he
of
should,
cases.
I still believe that there are higher power that will influence his decision.
And now when you talk of higher power, it could be political, it could be economical. Is that what you mean?
That's what I'm saying. So I'm very
So
sure
the power does not just lie with the military now.
it doesn't lie with the
There are
military.
external
I
forces.
still believe there are external forces to it.
So
Okay, so
what
do you
have
now
to-
think that a civilian oversight would help avoid the cover-up?
Well, it's not new. We've been experiencing every day in this country, so it's not new.
So basically, the civilian oversight is going to be useless at the end of the day.
It's not.
That's why I want to stay on the optimistic side here and say that yes, they can conduct a transparent trial, and at the same time, I want to believe that they will conduct a transparent trial. I will be disappointed in the Minister of
So
Defense
Ohunayo
if
is
they could
being
not.
positive right now. He's being hopeful.
He's
Okay.
speaking in
No,
faith.
just because of the one man.
I
Just
believe
because
you're
of the
speaking in
one man.
faith, right?
Just because of the one man, the Minister of Defense.
Mustafa,
Just because of
retired.
it.
I hope
Okay.
you don't change his constant.
All right, now, how worrying is it that officers from captain, you said it, from captain to brigadier general rank, were allegedly involved? Does this suggest a kind of ideological rot or factionalism within the armed forces? Ohunayo Ajiboye.
Will the lady
no,
like
no,
to-
please.
You want me? All right,
You
no
have the
problem.
Because
floor.
I'm always a gentleman. I like the lady to go first. So in this case, I'm going to go with the second option, which is factionalism. There are factions within the Nigerian army. I'm not going to lie. You see, many times we have had reports through social media, through news of factions within the Nigerian army, especially that there are some factions who see the bandits and insurgents as their Muslim brothers and tribal brothers. So sometimes we've seen soldiers from the south, especially of Yoruba, Igbo, South extraction, talking that when they are in battle with this person, sometimes their own fellow soldier will turn their weapon against them and tell them to let the captured insurgents go at gunpoint. Like a lot of standoff that many people, but such posts and such information gets taken down from social media very easily. So that points to one thing: there's factionalism within the Nigerian army, and this should not be, because if a house is not united, a house divided will fall upon it, will fall upon itself. It cannot stand upon itself. So that is the problem. So it's not like there's rot normally, but this, whatever happened here, is not about the rot within the military. It's more about the factions within the military. Some factions are of the school of thought that if they overthrow the current government, things will get better. And some factions are just there to to protect the constitution, to protect. They are standing by their oath no matter what. And then there's another faction that we know what those factions are all about. We don't know who they are, but there's another faction that I'm sure their job is no longer about the oath they took. Their own is just loyalty to the current ruling party and the ruling government. That's all it is. So yes, factionalism.
Okay. Now, Solanke, I don't know, do you agree with him?
Yeah, I agree with him. It's actually depicts
Factionalism.
fractionalism and loss of there's a word I want to use, loss of
Division.
yeah,
Distrust.
So I actually
Concur with him.
concur with what he said.
All right, without wasting much of our time, there's this troubling question here. You know, the president says he trusts the military to indict them. Now, president says he trusts the military to handle the case. In Nigeria's history of coup, is trust enough, or should Nigerians be genuinely alarmed? You know, you two said something that if the presidential villa can be infiltrated by these people, it shows that no place is safe in Nigeria. And now the president is saying he trusts the military, they should indict them. Now, is trust enough? Or should Nigerians be genuinely alarmed in a situation like this?
Well, if the president says he trusts them, then he trusts them. That's for the president.
That's for the president.
For the
Okay, what
president.
about the masses?
If he says he
Okay,
trusts
do the
them, he
masses
trusts
also
them.
trust them?
I'm not going to
say-
lie to you. The masses are divided. Some were wishing for the coup to have succeeded. Because of the kind of suffering and hardship Nigerians have been subjected to under this current government since 2023 has been unprecedented. And we thank God things are getting better, but it's not getting better because of the policies that the government did. You know, I know they would like to use that as their campaign, and it's not like I have anything against the government, but things are getting better for certain factors, and when those factors are removed, well, things are going to go back to status quo again. And those are the things we're talking about. And instead of the government to use this opportunity, just like Joseph in the Bible was like, in the days of plenty, save against the days of drought. The government is not thinking of taking advantage of the days of plenty now to save against the days of drought. Rather, they are borrowing and crumbling us in debt and doing so many things. And so a lot of people were thinking, in fact, there was a lot of people, the masses, Nigerian citizens, clamoring for the military to just take over first, and then we'll figure out what comes up next. So this is not a situation for Nigerians to be alarmed or not. Right now, Nigerians don't even care to be alarmed. They just want to know if they will be safe. They don't care if the president is safe or not. That's just the truth.
But
But if the president says he trusts them, then he trusts the military.
even the citizens you are talking about, do you really know that? Do you really think they know what to expect if the military is to take over? They are just
They don't, but that's the thing. When you push people to a breaking point, whatever you see is what you will get.
Okay, Solanke,
Well,
what's
from
your thoughts on that?
past, Nigerian coup history, I would like to say that trust alone is not enough. Public vigilance should be put to play here. Everyone should be responsible for their safety.
Everyone should be
Everyone.
responsible for their
Just be
safety.
vigilant. Yes.
Okay, all right. We have spent so much time on that very story. Because of time, we would like to move to the very next story here. And this one says, court decides today as FCT workers demand Wike's removal. Court decides today as FCT workers demand Wike's removal. Wike is a very powerful politician. Now, workers are demanding his removal. I don't know how this is going to play out. Let's just see what the court ruling is going to be like. Now, the National Industrial Court of Nigeria, Abuja, has fixed today, being Tuesday, for ruling on a suit filed by the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, and the FCT administration against leaders of the Joint Union Action Committee, that's JUAC, JUAC. Justice E.D. Sabilim adjourned the matter after hearing argument from counsel for the parties. Now, let me just come to you because we don't have so much time to spend on this headline. Now, Ohunayo, Ajiboye, what do you have to say about this workers' demand for Wike's removal? Is it a welcome development? Should their request, would it be a welcome development? Should their request be granted?
Well, it will depend on why they are demanding for Wike's removal. I mean, yes, Nyesom Wike has been quite, I don't know, I don't want to use a derogatory word on the serving minister of Nigeria right now, in spite of whatever controversies. Okay, let me say he has been quite a controversial character from the moment he was appointed by the president as the minister of the FCT. And he has stepped on lots of toes. He has really stepped on lots of toes. Some rightfully, and I would say that the majority wrongfully. Now, there are some things he has done right. I'm the kind of person that even if I don't like you, I won't be biased against you because of that. There are things he has done right as the minister of FCT. Unfortunately, it has rubbed people the wrong way because no matter what you do, look, you do right, you do wrong, people will hate you regardless. There are those that will hate you for doing right, and then there are those who would not like you for doing wrong and will hate you regardless. So you should expect enemies on both sides. But the principle is that you do right always. Since you're going to have enemies if you do right and you have enemies if you do wrong, why not just do right and let your name remain in history as someone who did right? But unfortunately for Wike, I would say that the wrongs were more than the rights. Now that he is facing a problem from the NLC, they want him gone. He has made himself such a nuisance in Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory of Nigeria, that the workers can no longer stand him. The citizens, the residents of the FCT can no longer stand him. It is not news that there has been no serving minister of the FCT that has ever enjoyed the goodwill of the residents of FCT themselves, no matter how good they are or how bad they are. But Wike, the hatred for Nyesom Wike is unprecedented. Is at levels that no one could ever imagine. And instead of him being sensitive, as a public servant, being sensitive to the thoughts of the
needs of the people,
he was doing what the Gen Z would call slaying on them. He was bouncing on them, you know. He was showing off his affluence, his wealth, and whatever in the faces of the people who are already angry with you for impoverishing them and for putting them in dire straits and situations. And you know, you were trying to form it doesn't matter what you guys do, and now his chickens have come home to roost.
Okay, so referring to what you just said now, is Nyesom Wike governing the FCT with administrative firmness or with political arrogance?
More of political arrogance. You know, I mentioned that he did some things right. And kudos unto whom kudos should be given. He did some things right. But unfortunately, you see, when you do the right thing, at the same time, you know, there's a Yoruba adage. They said that if you are sent on the errand of a slave, you should do that errand with the dignity of a true-born child. Now, he has a job to do as the minister of the FCT. But it was not for him to do it insensitively or to do it with arrogance. Unfortunately, Wike is arrogance personified in Nigeria. And that is why he has made so many enemies that a lot of people are happy to see his downfall. Now, coming to the question that you asked me, because I just finished laying the background. What is going on here is that the workers do have a right to demand that Wike be removed from his position. While they have the right to demand
that. You say they don't have the right.
They have the right.
Okay.
They do have that right to demand with their evidence to back it up and everything. But the final judgment is going to depend on the court of law.
Court of law. Okay, now, Solanke, coming to you.
All right.
What's your thought on all this?
Well, I believe just few people will see it as firmness, while a whole lot of people will see it as political arrogance. Due to, especially the part of the unpaid entitlement, I believe he should just step down. No matter what he does right now, doesn't make sense. He cannot undo what he has done. There's no way he can undo them. So I feel like the people rights and the people voices should actually play more right here, whereby he has already trampled and do more than he's meant to do. So he should just step down. So no matter what he does, he can't right the wrong.
He can't right the wrong.
with what the people have against him. I read the placard. Some people are saying the rivers is not like this. Go back to the river. So a lot of people are having a whole lot of things to say about him already. So that's just it.
All right, okay, viewers, we don't have much time. Let's just wrap it up here. But before we wrap it up, we just need to throw a shade on this particular headline here that says, "Police recruitment. Over 400,000 apply for 50,000 naira jobs." Just with the headline, what do you have to say about this, Ohunayo? Just a very quick one.
Well,
Imagine
in
over
2024,
400,000
I
apply
get
for
the background.
50,000
I get the
naira
background
job.
because of time. So let me just quickly say this. In 2024, the federal government, the Nigerian government, headed by President Tinubu, decided to change the metrics for measuring unemployment in Nigeria, right? And they said that unemployment has been down by 4%, leading to APC supporters and Tinubu supporters to start dancing and shouting and saying, "Oh, you Tinubu haters, blah blah blah, shame on you, unemployment is down." And people were like, "This is not the real reality on ground." Well, finally, have the chickens not come home to roost? I know a lot of people out there will say, "Oh, it's the APC tormentor, it's the Tinubu tormentor." No, if Tinubu does something right, I will commend him. If the APC does something right, I will commend them. So the fact of the matter is that now the real metrics are out. 400 people applying for a job slot.
400,000.
400,000. I'm sorry about that. 400,000 applying for a job slot.
50,000
people.
People, yeah.
And now there's a lot of problems with that because this is going to encourage more corruption, nepotism, bribery, and whatever form of wrongdoing you can ever imagine. But the bottom line is that there are no jobs. The government is not providing enough jobs for the youths. So whatever metrics the government thought they used to bring down unemployment by 4% and they were patting themselves on the back, well, finally, the wind has blown and we have seen what should not be seen behind the chicken. Exactly.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Ajiboye. A quick one from you, Solanke, before we just,
I would like to
tidy.
say that signals desperation for job. It highlights massive unemployment and lack of opportunities. Believe me sincerely, I know a number of people that dislike police job, but they've been home for several years.
There's nothing to do.
There's nothing
Exactly.
to do. They just have to keep minds and body together. They have something to put on the table just to find a means of income. So that's why I said I sense desperation. So the severe desperation at that. So the unemployment in this country is actually alarming. Believe me sincerely.
Okay, viewers at home, this is where we're wrapping up the show. Thank you so much. Do well to like, comment, and share. Okay, at this point, what's your parting remark before we just finally tie it up here? Your parting remark, a very quick one from Solanke.
Well, I did like to say that every one of us should please be security conscious wherever we are.
Be security conscious wherever and whenever. Oh, sorry, she said wherever
twice.
Yeah, you find yourself. Okay, yes. So who are you?
Well, the parting remark I have for our viewers at home is, we know you love the Confab. We, the Confab crew, will love you too. Like Solanke said, take your security conscious. Be conscious about your security and be careful out there. And please, election is coming. Vote wisely. You get what they talk about? Vote wisely. Thank you very much. You love us at Esteem Radio Vision. Please follow us, like, and ensure you subscribe. We want to see you in the comment sections. You can send us a message on 09166349956, and you can email us at esteemradiovision@gmail.com. But the most important thing we need is your likes, your shares, your comments, and your subscription to our YouTube channel, Esteem Studio. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Do well to click that follow button if you've not started following yet. All right, at this point, we want to say thank you so much for choosing Esteem Radio Vision. Thank you for staying with us on the Confab. We look forward to having you over and over again. Okay, we also want to appreciate our CEO in the person of Deacon Michael Ajiboye Ashaolu, the founder of Eniakbonle Foundation and Esteem Radio Vision. We also want to say a very big thank you to our producer in the person of Ayomiko. Thank you so much. And to my colleagues here, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right. Until we come your way again, I still remain Chidima Abel. Bye for now.
Bye.